Denver's Urban Alternative 104.7 The Drop. It's your dog, Maleman, and I'm not going to cap. I'm super excited. It's not every day you get to sit down with a legend. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to hold you. I'm talking a real legend. He's in plays a major role in some of my favorite movies of all time. You probably seen him in Life. You probably seen him in American History X. You probably seen him in Trippin'. You probably seen him in your favorite movie. This is my guy right here. This dude is a GOAT. I'm sitting down with the legendary, hilarious Guy Torry. What's up, big dog?
Hitting a different girl every night. What
Monday,
up?
Tuesday, Wednesday.
It's Guy Torry in the place to be. Got kicked out your mama's university. What up, man?
Man, it's all good. So I definitely have to check in. I always do this with my guests. You know, I feel like it's important that we do this with each other.
Yeah.
Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, how are you really doing, Guy Torry?
I'm getting there, man. I'm getting in the mental part. I'm tripolar. So
tripolar.
Yeah, two of them are okay. The other one, I got to, it's me, myself, and Guy.
Facts.
So, me and myself are okay. It's that Guy dude
Guy, huh?
that a little bit on the fence, needs some therapy. But
that.
Yeah, physically I'm doing a little bit better. I'm doing good. Got to make sure my diet stays straight.
Right.
Traveling all the time on the road. Road life is a strain.
Drink water here in
Denver. A lot
Denver.
of water. Yes, I know. I got years ago. I got drunk off a bottle of O'Doul's non-alcoholic beer.
That's crazy.
Because it has .05. I was tipsy off of that. So yeah, you got to mind your lungs and your alcohol intake when you in the 5280.
Facts. That's big.
The 5280. For those who don't know, look it up.
That way.
But I'm good, man. Thanks for asking.
I'm glad. I love that for you. You looking good. You know what I'm saying? You look like you in good spirits. We happy to have you here at the Drop. So you've been killing the stages, man, for a long time, holding the culture down for a long time, since Def Comedy Jam, all of those. I want to know, for you, what's the craziest moment you've had on stage?
Wow. Craziest moment on stage? Some fights, man. The craziest moment on stage with me and my brother. Me and my brother got into a fight, man.
That's a legend, too.
I did this night, Fat Tuesdays, man, and we had a DVD coming out, and Joe was just acting up. Big bro, who's supposed to be,
mature.
Was acting up. And we got into a roast battle on stage. And, to the point where there was a bishop in the audience. Bishop Noel Jones. And he came up after the show and was like, and cussed at us. It was like, and he said, "You N-words need to cut this ish out." He said that. He said, but he didn't say ish or N-word. He said the words.
Yeah, he said it.
It was that. And fellow comedian Chris Spencer was there. He's like, it was the funniest, most uncomfortable feeling I've ever had in my life. Because we were going at it. And it's crazy because when you're going, playing the dozens with your brother
right,
or your family, mama jokes are kind of off limits.
Oh, yeah, because that's your mama.
Right. Can't do daddy jokes. We had the same daddy. Came out the same sack. So that was the craziest moment on stage, man, other than I almost getting into some fights with some people who didn't like my political views.
Speaking of that, have you ever, said a joke on stage that just kind of bombed, had the room silent? So how did you bounce back from that?
You don't. What you do is, the way I make my comedy, as I've grown and evolved as an entertainer, as an artist, as a comedian, is that the conversation, it should be conversational. You should never tell the audience where to laugh. Let them decide where they're going to laugh.
Exactly.
If you tell them where to laugh and you don't land that joke, you can throw your rhythm off. So I make a conversation. I tell a lot of jokes that don't land, but you'll never know it. I just keep on rolling like it's a conversation.
Right.
Let them decide where the punchline is.
Facts.
You just do it. You want to hit them, of course, because you want to write the punchline.
Exactly.
But if it don't hit, it throws you off.
That's game. So, movies. Let's talk about the movies, because Life is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm not going to cap, bro. You said something that stuck with me for the rest of my life. That's my half-sister, so I cut her in half.
Yeah, an ad-lib. That was the beauty of the movie Life, man. We all ad-lib, and the director was cool enough to allow us to ad-lib because of Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy, I say this every time I talk about this movie, because Eddie Murphy doesn't get enough flowers. He gets his flowers, he don't get enough flowers.
I feel that.
But when you work with him, man, he wants you to bring your A game. A lot of actors want you to not bring it because they
want to shine.
Right.
Yeah,
now,
facts.
Eddie, iron sharpen iron. And he allowed us to be us. And that's what made that movie so great.
So how does playing that role, radio, and then switching up for a movie like American X, how how was that switch up? How was you
Well,
able
Making
to?
the Sex was first, so that was rent got to be paid. You better play this. You better play this role. That was earlier in my career, my first dramatic role.
Right.
So that's just really drawn on sense memory and being in the moment. And then you working opposite somebody, Ed Norton, who's a great actor.
Right.
Iron sharpened iron again.
Right.
A little different from Eddie Murphy, as far as he wants you to win, but it's
more serious.
It's a different approach. Different approach.
I feel that.
He's one of the greatest actors of our generation.
No, facts.
But still, he's human.
Exactly.
And there's still maybe a few insecurities.
So you've been in rooms with like the biggest of dogs, the big dogs. You know what I'm saying? The big dog. You one of the big dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Calm down, Omega Sci-Fi. That is not a frat rough. Okay, it's a regular. It's not y'all rough.
It's a DMX roof.
Yeah,
we got a
you
DMX
got them
roof
cues.
going on.
Man, you ain't frat. You ain't frat.
So, like, what is something that you wish you learned about the industry earlier that you know now that no one really taught you? Like, what would you say you wish you learned early off in your career?
Don't pray to God to be on a Diddy party list.
Oh, my God.
No, man, when I was coming up, late 90s, early 2000s, man, I wanted to be at them Diddy parties, man, because you heard the baddest chicks be there. You hear that industry be there.
You don't want to be at the Diddy
No,
party.
but back then, I'm talking about back then, you wanted to be there. And I was
Right.
like, man, my career was budding. Like, man, I ain't never on a Diddy come, Lord, just let me just meet somebody at a Diddy party and take my career to another level. Flip to 2024, thank God for the prayers he didn't answer.
Facts.
Sometimes we get mad at God for not answering prayers. Thank God for the prayers he didn't answer.
You would have been in one of them pools.
Man, I don't even like Baby Yo. I'm a shea butter dude anyway.
Yo.
But no, to get back to your questions more seriously, ask it again. To the
No, I was
audience.
wondering, what did you wish you learned early in your career about the industry that you know now?
Oh, man.
Outside the Diddy parties.
That's a good question. Because, I mean, the main thing that for the sake of sounding corny, I don't give a damn if I sound corny or not. You got to keep God as the foundation.
Yeah.
Or whatever your belief is. I'm a
Facts.
Christian. I believe in Christ. So that's my foundation. And you just have to. I was thinking about that this morning. Like, man, if you just keep that as a foundation, no matter what you're doing in life. It can be entertainment. It can be an inventor. It can be starting your own business.
Right.
You got to stay grounded there because especially in entertainment, because entertainment industry that's the devil's playground.
Yeah.
And
Facts.
if you don't keep that as the base, and you don't keep your head on the swivel, and you don't stay woke, and I don't mean the woke that the other side turned woke into. We know what woke really was.
Facts.
It's keeping your head on the swivel and keeping your eyes open and see people who they really are.
Exactly.
So yeah.
That's gang.
That's the thing I can tell someone else.
Yeah.
But you gotta keep that foundation tight and keep your tribe. You ain't gotta have an entourage. You don't need an entourage. It look cool. It look like, but man, look,
People
more
dancing
people mean
in the videos.
Man, more people mean more money, more miles to feed, more plane tickets, more hotel rooms,
Yes.
more problems,
Facts.
more everything.
Facts.
Man, you don't need all that.
That's gang.
Be your authentic self, and you'll win. Be your authentic self, and you will win because God created all of us individually different. So why try to be somebody else?
Exactly.
He made you. Ain't no other yous out there. So sell you.
For real.
Don't sell a carbon copy of somebody else or imitation you. You like that crab meat they sell sometimes.
Imitation
Yeah,
crab.
get the real crab. Be the real crab.
Be a real crab.
Not the ones that be around your junk. You got to use that comb and not that crab.
No, so like, how do you think the industry has changed since, just comedy in general, since you were coming up and until now? Like, what are some of the big differences that you can pinpoint?
Man, I mean, I love the social medians, right?
Social medians.
Yeah.
I like that.
Shout out to Bob Sumner who originally said that. Social medians, I love that they have this platform of doing sketches and things. A lot of them are gravitating toward the stage.
Yeah.
And some of them, not all, some of them are not studying the craft. Some of them are not respecting who came before them.
Right.
And the work that we put in for them to do that. Like we respect it I respected the OGs that came before me.
Facts.
We got to keep our craft, keep our art going, we have to support each other.
Yeah.
And if you look at the Fat Tuesday documentary, I made sure I included the social medias to bridge that gap. Like, look, I see you. We mess with you. Anything you need, we got you.
You got to do that,
You got to do that because I want to preserve the culture, especially the community, the black community in comedy.
Yeah.
So the differences are they build an audience first and then their act. Whereas we and the generations of OGs before me, we had to get it out the mud.
Yeah.
We had to build our act and then build our following.
Yeah.
It's a little easier now. So it's a little easier. Like that. It's a little easier for them to get a little beside themselves.
Yeah.
And forget, that you got to get it out the mud.
Be a little entitled.
It's like with the league, the NBA. It's like you got all these AAU camps now, whereas they get coddled as young players. So they come into the league already with a sense of entitlement. Whereas, the generations before AAU had to get it out the mud, and the OGs whipped you into shape and had respect for the OGs. These new cats now, and I know I'm going to lose some of y'all. I give a damn. But you got to respect who came before.
No, you do, though. That's
you got to respect. And radio, and the arts, and technology, and everything. There was that before you that laid the groundwork. So that's my biggest thing. And I'm always here to help some of the social media. I talk to them when I'm on the road. I talk to the ones who want to listen. And so that's what I loved about DC Young Fly. Carlos Miller. They was always asking questions. They wasn't they was like, "Oh, gee, anything you got, man, drop on me." And we respect the ones who do that. Exactly. But then there's some who like, "Oh, you old school Def Jam. What you know?" Like, okay, get on that stage and do an hour. This ain't that little 5-minute content you're doing.
This ain't your little TikTok clip.
Yeah, right. And not to knock the TikTok and Instagram, because I think that's an amazing art in itself. So shout out to them social medias who can do that and do that well. I haven't cracked that code. I ain't going to lie to you. But they have. So I think we just need to bridge the gap.
Nah, that's game. And I appreciate you saying that because, we definitely got to respect the OGs, respect the people that came before us. But we had
we have to respect, the OGs got to respect the social medias too.
It's got to be mutual.
Because that's a great art that they're doing as well.
No, it's definitely got to be mutual. That's for sure.
Who the hell is Damon Williams? That's what I want to know. That's a whole nother thing. People will get that.
We definitely at Denver Improv this weekend. You know what I'm saying? We pulling up, we popping out, we showing out. But if someone has never been to a Guy Torry show, what can they expect?
Better get baptized first. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm not gonna lie to you to get you to my show, but you better get baptized first.
Get in that
I'm
water.
gonna tell you right now. It's uncut. It's unfiltered. It's unbelievable.
Yes.
It's the best damn comedy show. Period. I'm gonna tell you right now. I said it. Yep. I'm standing on
your
it.
stuff.
Damn right. 32 years in this game.
Yes.
I ain't seen a lot of stages, and like Kardashians, I ain't seen a lot of mics, but different type of mics. But yeah,
I'm not doing this with you, bro. I'm not doing this with you.
It's a baby oil free Diddy party on stage.
We definitely pulling up to that. That sounds amazing. So now look, check it out. My last question. I gotta put you on the hot seat because you've played some crazy roles. You've done some of the most iconic scenes, worked with some of the most iconic people. So hot seat question. And I had to think about this too. Give me your top 5 funniest movie characters of all time. Characters, not just the person, but the character.
Oh, man.
Top 5 funniest movie characters of all time.
Well, I mean, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah,
in
he's a character.
And I'm going to be honest with you. Eddie Murphy in
Is it
Bowfinger.
Oh, Bowfinger.
And what you just said? Norbit.
I'm glad you.
Norbit,
I knew it,
bro.
I knew it.
I don't care what people say. That's one of my favorite movies,
yes,
man.
Facts.
One of my favorite movies, man.
You a real one.
Yes.
You a real one.
I'd have to say Martin.
Okay.
That's another one. Martin Lawrence, man, big influence in my career. Who also can play the dramatic and the comedic.
Yeah,
Martin, anything Martin does, man. Characters. Who else? I would have to say Bernie Mac in Life. The switch that Bernie Mac made in Life.
Jangalang.
Yeah. Man, you put me on the spot.
I had to. And you got a solid
Denzel Training Day, of course, that character.
Oh, facts.
You know? And also, I mean, I have to tie that Denzel performance with Gladiator 2. The character he played in Gladiator 2. I didn't see that coming. I mean, it was some trickery in there.
Yeah, he did some sorcery with that one, huh?
Man, I was like, okay. Who else?
This your last one. It's the hardest one.
Ooh.
Hardest one. We got Eddie, we got Martin, we got Bernie, we got Denzel.
I gotta say, it's a tie.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
I say Regina King, man. Regina King. She switches up in all her stuff, man.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Damn. Then you got Jamie Foxx and Ray.
Ooh, see, that's a hot seat question right there. We gonna rock with them. I'll give you the honorable mention.
Yeah.
But that was dope. That was a solid top 5. You're about to make me rewatch all of those films with all of those people. I'm always watching Life, so you already know. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny about that? I watched Life for the 4th time.
That's crazy.
In my life last week.
That is
I don't watch
wild.
a lot of my movies. I only seen American History X maybe twice.
That's wild.
I've only seen Pearl Harbor maybe, 2 or 3 times. But someone sent me a clip of Life, and I said, you know what? I haven't seen that movie. I haven't seen that movie in years.
That's crazy.
I went back and I just sat home by myself. I just watched it.
You just gotta let it cook.
It's a classic, man. I like watching all the other characters.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
it was such a great cast, man.
Man, that
such
is
a great
so
cast.
epic, so
iconic. Thank God for allowing me to be a part of that.
Man, and thank God for allowing you to pull up, kick it with us here at the Drop. Like I said, it's not every day you get to kick it with a legend. I'm not capped when I say you did definitely play a big role in my life and just the culture. You know what I'm saying? We took a lot from you. Thanks for sitting down with the
You didn't
Drop.
know it was your daddy, did you? How your mama doing?
We ending this. We ending this right now. Guy Torry.
I played a big role. You thought, Negro?
He been roasting me since he got up in here. I'm like, I love it. I appreciate you. You are the same on the screen, off the screen.
Hey, man,
You're a great individual,
man.
bro.
In the words of Edmund James, it's too hard trying to be somebody else, so just be yourself.
Man, you are just a dope dude, man, and we appreciate you stopping by the Drop. We at Denver Improv all weekend long. Pull up on my guy, Guy Torry. It's Maleman on Denver's Urban Alternative, 104.7 The Drive Ski.